They're very, very severe drop-off from those bluffs, and then this beautiful, long, flat beach with pretty dangerous waves, actually. But my brother is a surfer, so he loved it.
Oh,
very exciting.
Your brother sounds like an awesome guy.
He is. He is, most definitely.
Does he play on your album?
He doesn't, no. I made that album. There are only 3 musicians on that album, myself included.
Oh.
And a few singers, actually, at the end of a track called Ghosts. I had a big chorus of singers. But it was myself and a guy named Joby Baker who produced and engineered the whole record, start to finish, including mastering. And he plays drums and bass, some Hammond organ and things like that. He plays all over, the drummer and bass player on every track. And then I hired my dear friend Adrian Dolan, who is an incredible arranger and just musician in general. I hired him to do some string tracks and also some accordion. He surprised me with the accordion, actually, and I really liked it. It wasn't something I would have ever really picked myself, but he really turned me on to the instrument.
Wow.
So it was the 3 of us hanging out, eating cheese, drinking wine, and sending funny emails to each other.
What a fun process.
It was beautiful. Joby lives in British Columbia, in Victoria, on Vancouver Island, and he has a beautiful piece of property up there with a house that has, this glass window with a grand piano in front of it looking out over his trees, and this amazing dog that plays hide and seek with you, and orchids, and he makes you coffee and berry crumbles, and it was really magical. It's one of those experiences that being my first record, it was I realize now, having done quite a few records, it was a very lucky situation. It's not always like that when you are in a recording studio. A lot of people are very business, and that's fine and good, but I was definitely very fortunate for that experience.
Inés, I just want to hang out with you, and because wherever you go, cool things happen. And there's
come hang out.
Beautiful beaches and awesome recording studios in British Columbia, and all of it sounds great.
It is pretty great. Life is good.
Well, I love your vocals. I was listening to your stuff on Bandcamp last night, and I was just freaking out. I was just going, oh my gosh. I hear like a little bit of Carly Simon, a little bit of Tori Amos, a little bit of something, I don't know what, but it's just you, and your voice is just, I love it.
Well, thank you so much. Well, Tori is definitely a big part of my musical education. I spent, I was really into Nirvana as like a, 7, 8, 9-year-old. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I was all like hardcore. You can imagine a 7-year-old girl being like that.
Right after she sang the Little Mermaid theme.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I went from Little Mermaid to Nirvana. It was a good transition. But my sister showed me Tori Amos's version of Smells Like Teen Spirit, and that was my very first exposure to that one. And I fell in love with Tori, and I listened to her for the next 10 years. I can't really listen to her too much anymore because of that, but I have an immense respect and appreciation for her as a performer. And that was kind of, when I heard her and saw her, I was like, that's what I want to do. That's it. I like this woman.
Ooh, I'd love to see you do her When You Gonna Make Up Your Mind.
Oh, I love that. I've been singing that with a student. I've been singing and playing that with one of my vocal students, and she's like 7 or 8 years old, so it's perfect. It's like the cycle continues. She's starting to get into Tori.
Things are gonna change so fast.
Exactly.
Oh, man, I was like listening to her, and I'm like crying. I'm like, I'm a guy, damn it. Who is this Tori Amos? Why is she making me I fester? Well, Idea the Artist is your like pseudonym?
Yes, yeah.
And how did you come up with that?
Well, it's based on a character from a story that I've been working on for actually the last 14 years. And it's a retelling. It's, I guess the way I would describe it is I'm writing a 3-part novel that is what I would call the truth behind the fairy tales and myths and legends that you hear often today. Stories like Rapunzel and Rumpelstiltskin. And one of my primary characters was this character named Idea, who was sort of flighty, very unpredictable, and sort of could shapeshift and would leave these strange creatures behind and weird trails, evidence that she'd been there. But it's more an identification with this character that the reason she can't live in one body is that because of her emotional capacity, she becomes too encumbered by emotions. She reminds me of May from The Secret Life of Bees, I think. It's a character who she would read the news and become so distraught by all the bad things she read that she had to write them down and put them in this wall between bricks. Just basically identifying with this character who has a huge capacity for emotion and doesn't really know what to do with it, so they spur it outward. So that's where the ideas come from. But the name kind of evolved to mean that Idea the artist is sort of, it means a lot of things to me. It means that if you believe you're an artist and you call yourself an artist, then you're going to be an artist. There's a lot of room for self-doubt, and I think a lot of really great artists in the world consider themselves to be charlatans, and I've heard this a lot in the last couple of years, that friends of mine that I think are so talented will tell me, that they feel like they're fooling everybody into thinking they're talented. And so it's kind of a reminder for me that, if you want to be an artist, then you do it. If you have an idea, then you pursue it to the end, and you are faithful to it, and it will return that love to you eventually. So it's, it's gotten a little complex over the years what it means, but to me it's kind of just a reminder of who I am and who I want to be.
Wow, and you're an author, and how far have you gotten writing this novel? It's written. It's all there. The story's all there, but it'll be a while. I'm still going through and editing. I have my first set of readers this year, and they're not even reading for grammatical errors or, the beauty of the prose. They're just reading for, are you even interested when you're 50 pages in? So wow.
I'm still pretty far in the process, and I'd say it's been 14 years I've been working on it, and I don't see it being done before another 3 to 5 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's a long time doing a book.
It's a big process, and having only worked on one really big piece of writing like this in my life, it's I don't have anything to compare it against, so I'm trying not to put any pressure on myself to finish it, because, I will get there eventually. It's kind of my feeling, and I like writing short stories and things in the meantime that can kind of make me feel a little better about finishing something in the writing realm of my life. But
well, and then you've got these great songs, and I was going to play Sheep Jumping Fences, and I love the strings on this, and your vocals are so folky, folkish, folksy, folkorama. They're folkin' great. And and how did this song come about?
This song I wrote in the living room of the house I was living in. I wrote this song actually quite a while ago, probably in 2008 or 2009. And I guess it's sort of a reflection of, sometimes people want something so much for you that they forget to let you make your own move, and they get really upset if you don't make the move they wanted you to make. And I think that song is beginning to understand, is representative of me beginning to understand that people do that because they love you, not because they want to make you feel, stressed out or oppressed or anything like that. They just see so much for you. And it was kind of my declaration of understanding, in a sense. And, it's angsty because it was written in a time where things were, I think, very difficult for me. But I think it represented the beginning of understanding the motivation behind that angst was all love. And usually is, I think, most of the time with people.
Wow. So it helped you figure things out.
Yeah, it was a good pal. Came at the right time.
So it is from the album The Northern Lights Are On?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And they can find out more about you at idealisttheartist.com, and that's also Ideal, the artist.
Idea.
What? I said Idealist the artist. That's weird. ideatheartist.com, ideatheartist.bandcamp.com as well, and you're at facebook.com/idea the artist.
Yeah, and they can listen to the whole record on the website right now. And I will be releasing a new record in the coming year.
Oh.
And actually, yesterday I released a brand new video called Violet Hollow. So they can also look that up on the interweb. It's all over my Facebook, but not on the website yet.
Oh, okay.
We'll be redoing the website pretty soon. So, but yeah, you can find all of that stuff on the interwebs.
And so here's Sheep Jumping Fences. It's Idea the Artist, and as I butcher her name again, Inés Beltranena. Beltranena.
Very good, yes.
Ah, that's a beautiful name that I'm going to butcher yet again. Okay, and here she is with Sheep Jumping Fences on Mike's Daily Podcast.